Good afternoon, people. Watch Women 65. Lisa Boyce here. I got two stories to you. And like I said this morning, just trust him and just look up. The first one is from Now the End Begins. This is unbelievable. And the stock market right now. The stock market, I think, let me see, it's 15-17 down. So there you go with that. But this story here is talking about what's going on in Italy. It says Italian official says burials will be sped up as hospitals overflow with dead. Doctors, listen to this, are forced to decide who lives and who dies. It says the situation in Italy is getting very grim. And reports are now indicating the hospitals there in the Lombardy region are already overwhelmed, trying to care for the increasing number of sick people in limited intensive care units. They're overflowing with the dead. Lombardy's top healthcare official says that at the request of the hospitals, the region had to simplify the bureaucracy needed to process death certificates and bury the dead, which in Lombardy alone had reached 617 by late Wednesday. Italian officials have halted both weddings and funerals. Doctors and nurses are reportedly unable to tend to everybody. They are now choosing who lives and who dies because they don't have enough people to tend for these people. Now, I'm going to leave that in the description box for you too. And I have another one here that's talking about, and this is off in Times headlines as well. The churches are closing its doors because of this virus. It says, with the number of coronaviruses on the rise, a lot of churches are choosing to stream online. So that's there. I just got something from my county here in Cuyahoga County in Cleveland. Listen to this. Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court to release prisoners, inmates, because of changes due to coronavirus. The administrative judge for Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court told Fox 8 news team that the court will hold an extraordinary session on Saturday aimed at reducing the number of inmates in the county jail due to coronavirus. That's why I got that word this morning, to trust him. Because he knows what's about to happen. I went to my landlord this morning, and I asked him, what are you going to do? I said, because this is coming down to a head. He said, well, I got my mortgage to pay, so everybody else has to pay rent. I said, well, what if everybody's out of a job? He said, well, we'll get to that when we get to it. Got very smart with me. We've been living here for 4 years, never been late on rent, always paid on time. All of a sudden, got a note on the door telling us to pay $400 for the cats that we've had since we've been here, or legal proceedings will take place. Now, we just paid the rent. But they want us to come up with this extra money because all of a sudden we have cats now. So he's being a jerk, the landlord is. The owners of this place are. But that's okay because we fly soon. This is what's happening. It's like the enemy is coming at you, but God has raised a standard. I trust him. So if anything else comes up, I'm going to leave the link to these articles in the description box. And I got something else, and I got to look up this first. It's saying, and I got to make sure I got this right, but I got this from the New York Times that President Trump might be affected with corona because of the Brazilian official who was part of the delegation and visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago. The Brazilian official who was part of the delegation that visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago tested positive for coronavirus. So if he tested positive for coronavirus, then Trump has to be tested for this as well. But I'm going to I got bits and pieces of it, so I'm going to come out with that later. But in the meantime, I'll leave the other stories in the description box. I'll be back on later. Thank you. Have a nice day.